Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Willy's Wonderland. And it's Nic Cage versus a bunch of demonic animatronics in this crazy overnight stay at an old run-down like Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing in the middle of this rural backwoods town. Nic Cage is a man who drives really fast and loves soda and playing pinball. And his car runs over like one of those kinds of like spike strips, and the only place in town is this place with no cash, and he has to work off his debt to get his new tires, which is cleaning this rundown place for the next day. And he starts encountering these crazy demonic animatronics. And here's the thing, Nic Cage doesn't say a single word in this movie. Doesn't. It's all facial expression and stares, and this movie knows exactly what it is. And you have Kevin Lewis, who wrote this film, who directed this film, knows exactly what film he's making. It is corny, it is cheesy. You have Nic Cage going like at the camera, and it's glorious. He does his like Nic Cage thing when he's really getting into things, and you hear him grunting, but you never actually hear him say a single line in the movie. He's chugging down sodas, he's kicking ass, and he like fights off a gorilla animatronic with a plunger. He like nuttiness. This movie is nuttiness. And if this film was just focused on him fighting these animatronics, I would have enjoyed it even more. You can tell this is really low budget and cheesy and bloody and silly like effects. And you could also tell that it's overly edited in some of the action sequences because they're trying to make the scene work. And so that wasn't the greatest. And then you have this whole entire plot, like maybe the town's in on this, and you find out through like really on-the-nose exposition all the backstory you need to know about this situation. So like the middle parts of this movie lag, and which is interesting because there's a whole group of teenagers that get involved too. None of them are really well developed or fleshed out, so they're not really interesting. So honestly, Nic Cage cleaning montages are more interesting than those scenes. I would have just liked this would have worked better and more consistent and more streamlined if it was just Nic Cage fighting all these animatronics and then doing cleanup montages in between, which was a lot of fun. The score really worked in terms of like this organ playing and like these silly like games kind of feel to the music. You know, like you're going into like an arcade and you hear this music. All that stuff was a lot of fun. All the extra stuff with like the teenagers, they were boring, not really interesting. They kind of took away from the rest of the film. But they built up good suspense, cheesiness, ham. Nic Cage hams it up to the max without saying a single word in this movie. And it's so much fun. Willy's Wonderland is one of those kinds of films. It's like, there's a lot of flaws here, but you could get past it because you're going to have a boatload of fun and just craziness watching Nic Cage for an hour and 30 minutes. Beat up and kill and destroy a bunch of animatronic animals. And a knight. And like one looks like Tinkerbell. So mostly animals. But still weird. It's like they got the token Pasquale from like Chuck E. Cheese there. Except he's a knight. But you know, you get the point. Watching Nic Cage just destroy a bunch of animatronic, like possessed demonic animatronics is a fun time. And Willy's Wonderland is insane and insanely fun. So if you're in for some really pulpy B-horror movie fun, go check out Willy's Wonderland. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.